Okay. It's so nice to have you here.
Yes, thank you for your time.
Yeah, no, thank you for inviting me.
Okay, Anita, do you want to start?
So one of the first questions that we just wanted to ask, we do know that you're a medical student, and so we just wanted to ask what led you to pursue a career or a major in the medical field?
Yeah. Well, right now I'm my sophomore year of college, hopefully going into med school. Taking my MCAT this year. I think I always kind of knew that I wanted to go to medicine. Like I really didn't want to do anything else. I was really interested in science. I was interested in helping people. Um, and I think that kind of stuck with me. And I think that's like an important part before trying to go into pre-med is like you want to do that because like it's easy to burn out in it. But honestly, I don't know. I just really couldn't imagine doing anything else.
Okay, so I know you're at a BSMD program. So can you tell us a little bit more about how this program works and how it's different from like a traditional four-year university?
Yeah. So normally what you would do is you'd complete your 4 years. You would take your MCAT in your third year about, and then either you take a gap year or like you just apply directly and you kind of hope and wish that your MCAT matches your like the schools that you want to apply to instead of your extracurriculars and you go through the traditional route of applying. And with the BSMD, what it does is it kind of guarantees you a med school. So each school will have like a school, like a med school correlated with it. And like for instance, at New Jersey, like NJIT has like NJMS, or like Rutgers also goes to NJMS. So by applying to these BSMDs, like they'll make you sign a contract and you basically take their required courses and get their minimum MCAT score, and you're guaranteed to go into their med school. So it's like by that, like it makes it like lets you spend time doing other things, right? Like you don't have to worry about getting a perfect 4.0 GPA. Like you can go out and do more research. You can go out and like explore. You can do like a minor and still end up with like a little bit lower GPA, obviously not too low, but like and just explore, and that way you could still be given a med school. And you're like, this is for people who like no, they're like, I want to do pre-med, right? Like they do this whole process of like interviewing kind of like a small med school application just to see if you're like a good candidate for that program.
Okay. And are you trying to do both research and pre-med or just pre-med?
Sorry, what was that?
Are you trying to do research and pre-med or just pre-med?
Yeah, so with my BSMD, like I can apply out. So what I'm trying to do is I think no matter if you're like doing traditionally or like if you're in like a BSMD, like research is included. You should be doing research no matter what your major is if you want to go to med school, because a good amount of research should be done in med school too. So I think I think everyone does mostly research if you're doing like anything bio related in college. Yeah.
Okay. And how did you go about shortlisting the colleges that you wanted to apply to?
So I mostly applied to BSMDs. So I kind of saw where BSMDs were located in the US. And then like from there, I only applied to like some of them on the East Coast. And then I applied to ones which I liked the school. Like I didn't want to go to school somewhere I didn't like. And then for the other schools, I saw like how their pre-med like track was, what their average MCAT was, like if they were good for pre-med to go to, and then I applied to those. And then the biggest thing was making sure I liked the campus life, because I think a lot of people don't look at that, but it's super important before you go because you spend your 4 years there or 3 years. So like it's important you like it.
Another question that we had was, is there anything specific that you did prior to college that you felt really helped you, whether it was an experience, an academic thing, or simply just something for self-growth?
You said before college?
Yeah.
Definitely maintaining like a good grade in like high school is really important, because like in college, like no one really holds your hand and says like, oh, your grade's not good, right? Like they can just easily fail you. It's important to like understand how to properly study in high school. At least try to like start learning it, because like obviously like people change in college, but like college moves really fast and you sometimes don't have time for that. And then definitely getting into the idea of like extracurriculars in high school. Like if you start learning how to reach out to people, cold emailing and being like, okay, I'm interested in this program, or looking for research and knowing how to look for research, it gets easier in college, because in college you're like with a bunch of other kids who are doing the exact same thing. So you're not like unique to the doctor, like reaching out in that age, you know? So it's like by learning how to do it, you already have connections. You can literally go back to them in college and be like, "Hey, I'm in college now. Can I come back and like shadow you, do research with you?" So I think that's definitely important.
And kind of building off of that, as high schoolers, in addition to learning how to study and learning how to make these connections, what do you believe is the best way to utilize the time that we have to prepare for college?
Definitely just keep like the prereqs, like your prereqs good. Like you make sure your class grades are good. I know I mentioned that already, but like I feel like that's the biggest thing is that people get caught up in like these extracurriculars and like how to make themselves unique that they forget like these schools will mainly look at your GPA and your SAT and your ACT. So I think like that's the biggest thing to focus on in high school. Um, but I think that's like the major thing. Like if you can get those down, then like and time management, especially knowing like how to set your time up and like use your calendar or whatever it is, like it sets you up well for college.
And also, how did you manage to do original research and like make actual contributions in high school itself?
Yeah. I think in high school it gets kind of hard to do like good research considering like they usually want undergrads or like masters or PhD. But like you can look for research programs that I look for research programs that kind of allow you to do your thing under their supervision instead of like you shadowing like someone who's already doing research because like by doing that you're not really doing anything yourself, you're not learning the research process yourself. So I literally looked online, and honestly now ChatGPT exists. Like I didn't have ChatGPT in high school. You can literally ask and be like, oh, what are the research programs that are near me, and like what are they like require. A lot of them, there's a good amount. Like I remember when I applied, like there was a good amount, and I picked one that was like I can do free hands-on research that's like my choice of what I want to study. So definitely just look around, keep looking for research that works for you.
Um, Kind of similar to the research, what are some of your tips for finding a good high school internship?
Yeah, I think I know the academy gives you one senior year, right? But like definitely just cold emailing, like see what you're interested in. And I think high school is like the best time to start figuring out like what you're into. If you're like debating between like pre-med or like going into like pharmacy instead, like get internships in both. Just literally cold email. Some people have like parents who have friends in companies or like friends that are doctors, friends that are like just in the field that they want to go into. Ask them to ask if you know your friend's mom is a doctor or like does research, like ask them to like ask their parents if you can possibly go visit them, and then from there you can build connections. And like that's the biggest thing is like once you know one person you know 10 more people that they know, and like it kind of just adds on from that.
Sorry. What were some key differences that you found between high school and college, especially with your major specifically, maybe?
Definitely that it's more focused in college. Like in high school you have all these like English and history courses you need to take. Even if you don't like them you kind of have to take them and they still matter to your GPA. In college it's more that like you have courses that are focused to your major. And then on top of that, there's no like hand holding in college. Like they'll tell you like in high school they'll be like, oh, your grade's kind of dropping, and like you can go ask for extra points and be like, okay, like if you complete this assignment, I'll give it to you. College are not really like that. They have like hundreds of students themselves. Like they won't have time for you. And then another thing is like in high school, like when you're applying to colleges, you'll see like you don't need to do too many extracurriculars. But when you're in college, especially if you want to like apply to med school, like they recommend like so many hours, like you need to work basically like a full-time job aside from college to apply for med school. So the extracurriculars are much harder, much more serious. And going back to research, I know in college you get to do much more independent research. You get to actually like figure out what you want to research, find someone who mentors that, and you get to do it yourself and publish it and go to conferences yourself. So it's really fun. And then you'll also, I think another big difference from high school is like more like socially, like you'll find people who are like more at your level too, like that are actually interested in what you're doing. So it like works really well for you. When you go to college, you'll find like that group of people who are interested in the same field and have that same passion. So it works out really well.
Okay. And I know you just finished your first year in college. So, what is the actual process for a first year undergrad student to get involved in lab research? And essentially, how did you go around networking with professors and faculty members during your first year?
Yeah, so with research, it's definitely just cold emailing. Like, you're not gonna get like a lot of people don't like like to research freshman year because like they're like very new, they're still getting used to it, and they're gonna kind of be like, oh, sorry, you don't have any spots left. But like the more you email, like I emailed 30 my freshman year. Like I came in August to college, I emailed in like September, and I heard back like after emailing like 30, I heard back from one all the way in like November. And so it takes time. Like you just gotta like literally look up like your website, your school's website, look up like professors who are doing research at like a higher level and like email them and just be like, I'm just interested in like doing some research with you. Another thing is like be friends with upperclassmen because like I got my more serious intern research through her, like one of my upperclassmen friends through like my physics class, and she like that research is like really good. Like we get to go to conferences, we get to like do hands-on research with like things that are actually being put to use in medicine. So that's another thing. And then you said faculty. So for faculty, it's really just like trying to go up to your professor during office hours and like make it known that you're really interested. I think with some schools, like it gets kind of hard considering that your entire class is literally like 100 students. So it's like most professors don't really have an interest of getting to know their students. But if you find a professor who's like into their job, like you can go up to them and be like, "Hi, like I'm really interested in what you do, and like can you explain more about it or something like that." Like you can maintain contact. You kind of have to like butter them up a little bit. Like even if you're not really that interested, like by like sucking up a little bit, like you maintain a good contact. And honestly, that's you how you can get good research. If your professor is doing research, you can also ask them, be like, I'm really interested in what you do. I read online. Like, can I do research with you? And you maintain that contact both as a teacher and as your research assistant. Or you're gonna be their research assistant.
So these fields are like always changing, right? So for students now, like middle school and high school students now, what do you think that we should be aware of as the field continues to evolve?
Middle school students, I think just kind of get through middle school. But for high schoolers, just definitely like know you want to do it. Like I know especially nowadays, like the burnout rate is getting a lot higher for medical students. And obviously I'm still pre-med, so it's definitely like pretty early. But it's just knowing that you want to do medicine, like know what kind of field you kind of want to go into before doing it. Like it lets you guarantee that that's what you want to go into. That's like the biggest thing you can do.
Okay. And what is the workload in college compared to high school? Like, how hard is it?
It's not harder. It's just well, okay, yeah, like as you get older, like you get smarter yourself. So things that seem like you in like 10th grade would have thought was like really hard, like you realize it's really not that hard.
Yeah.
So it's not relatively harder, it's just a lot more work. Like in high school, like you don't really have to set like aside like 3 hours just to study on a topic. But like in college, you have to set aside time to actually go to the library, go somewhere and like study that one topic and study your next thing. So you are pretty much studying every single day. I think it's just more the time management versus like it's not much harder.
Okay. Got it. And now that
Yeah.
you're in college, is there anything you would have done differently, looking back at your time in high school?
Honestly, I feel like high school you can relax a lot more and like it's not as stressful as it should be. But that's like one thing. It's like just take your time and like do your stuff like that you want to do. Like don't do it to like make it seem like you have to get into this college, I have to do this stuff. Like enjoy like college. I mean enjoy high school. And then this is a kind of contradicting what I said, but like also maintaining your GPA. Like I think people think like, oh, like it's okay if I screw up one class. Like it is, but like colleges will look at your transcript and be like, oh, like there's this one class that has like a low letter GPA or like whatever. But
Hmm.
I think that you try to keep your overall GPA and SAT as high as possible. Like that guarantees you like at least putting yourself in through the doorway of the college. But it's not much you can really. I don't know. There's not much I would change. I think it was good the way it was too.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And given the recent advancements in AI right now and how integrated it's coming into our lives, are the policies regarding AI use in your university courses undergoing a change?
Um, they're definitely a lot more strict. Like even if you say like use AI to help you, like that's considered cheating. Like you
Really?
shouldn't
Okay.
like, don't use AI to like help you with essays. Don't use it to like even like rewrite something because like then it's technically not your own thinking, which makes sense, right? Like all these STEM fields, like you need to be able to think on your own. Like AI whatever AI has, like people are already using to like come up with new things. So they don't need to hear from AI. They need to hear from people because people are different than AI. So definitely just not using AI at all. Like that's a big thing that colleges don't like. And maybe in high school they'll like pull you aside and be like, "Oh, you used AI." But in college they can easily just kick a student out because they have like a
Mm.
thousands more. Like they're not afraid to do that.
Okay. And are the students like even utilizing AI to become more productive in any coursework?
For sure. Like I think a lot of students, especially like now with like there's like Gemini and stuff like that, like you can use that for like, can you make more questions similar to this? Or you could input like a practice exam and be like, make more. Or if you don't understand a topic, sometimes like Chat GPT, like you can keep breaking it down as much as you can. You can literally tell it, break it down like I'm a 5-year-old. So using it like that is totally okay. But like it needs to be like and something for original thought, right? Like you can't use it to write a paper. I feel like that's not exactly good, but I think that's
Mhm.
like the biggest thing that I use ChatGPT for.
Okay, got it. Thank you. I think those
Yeah,
are all the questions.
yeah.